After you see these three pillars, if you will, start growing, okay, now's the time to get in because you know, sophisticated investors know what's coming down the line. Hey, this is Matt Pichet, the Fruitful Investor and your investing coach. And today's video is about where to buy a multifamily building in a city. Now, I will say before I get into those tips that multifamily investing is a completely different business than single-family investing, one that's built entirely on fundamentals and income. Now, we're talking about buildings with 6 units or more commercial here in Canada, and even especially more than 15, 20, 22 units. It is strictly based on income. How much money does the building make? That is what dictates value in multifamily real estate. Very different from single family, where it's based on emotions, comparable properties strictly. Comparables do play a role in multifamily a little bit, but it is really based on income, period. That's why I like multifamily real estate, because it's just pure business, and I love that. So, where do we want to be investing and buying these multifamily businesses? Because it is a business, number one, okay? So we want to be buying in areas that are growing faster than the provincial and the national averages. So cities that are growing quickly, okay? So that's something I always talk about. So the first thing you want to look for before you invest in a town is GDP growth, okay? Is the GDP rate growing faster than the provincial average, okay? Why do we care about that? Because GDP growth will lead to job growth. Usually always does. And what do we see when the town has a lot of jobs and the job field is growing? Well, we see population growth. People want to move to that town. So those are the three first pillars you want to look for, because what happens after we see GDP growth, job growth, population growth? Well, we see an increased pressure, an increased demand for real estate, and an increased demand for rental properties. Now, what happens after that? 12 to 18 months after we start really seeing an explosion in that, well, property values go up, building values go up, because you're getting higher rents. Multifamily is based purely on income. If you can raise the rents in your building, you're gonna raise the value of the building automatically, okay? Very different from single family. So a lot of investors will try and scope out towns where they see GDP growth, and they wanna invest in them right away because they know what's coming, 2 years down the line. Okay, you can definitely do that if you're extremely skilled, but it is a little risky. I would rather invest in an area after I know the momentum is already going up, starting down here. I want to see a little bit of this and start investing here, and then I'll still make some money on the way up. Okay, so it's a little less risky. So after you see these three pillars, if you will, start growing, okay, now's the time to get in, because sophisticated investors know what's coming down the line. Where does the average investor start investing in? Way down here at the boom phase in the real estate cycle. Oh, real estate's crazy. It's booming. I'm gonna try and get in now. Well, you've already missed the boat. We were already buying 2 years ago. You know what I mean? So that's how sophisticated investors buy. Now, this strategy is very similar to single family, okay? It's actually the same strategy. Both are the same when you want to invest. So this part is kind of the same in both investment assets, but specifically multifamily, this is where it's a little different. After we chose a town that we know is growing and will continue to grow faster, which is why I love Kitchener-Waterloo and Cambridge, such a diverse economy. It's just always kicking ass and always kicking the Ontario average's ass. That's why Kitchener-Waterloo is such a great place to invest. But once you've chosen your place, where within that town do you want to invest? What neighborhoods do you want to invest in? So you want to buy multifamily buildings close to amenities, especially within walking distance. With single family, we can take about a 5 to 10 minute drive, because our tenants in single family can likely afford cars, especially here in Kitchener-Waterloo, which is a very, very car heavy area. Probably always will be, just because of the way it's built and laid out. Very different from the Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, Montreal, Hamilton markets, where those cities are really built towards transportation. A lot of people here will drive cars and always will, okay? But we want to be within walking distance to grocery stores and other types of stores and plazas, because our tenants, the lower the kind of the rent, the less affordable they are to buy cars like that. So we want to be within walking distance, close to the action, which is right around the downtown core, okay? So number 2, highway access. Again, a little different from what you would find in Toronto and stuff, but highway access is still a little important to multifamily tenants. A lot of them still do drive cars, especially in the nicer buildings where the rent's a little higher, okay? But the last one, transportation. So you definitely want to be close to transportation, which is very different from single family. In single family, here in Kitchener-Waterloo, we don't care about transportation. We want to actually buy away from transportation because those are where the nice neighborhoods are. With multifamily, here in Kitchener-Waterloo, it's the total opposite. We want to be right in the mix, right downtown, close to transportation, close to the LRT where that's being built in Kitchener right now. We want to buy buildings very close, if possible, to that, okay? As long as the building still cash flows. A lot of multifamily buildings out there, they're asking crazy astronomical amounts as if the LRT's already been built for 10 years. Totally wrong. The fundamentals aren't there, but you definitely want to buy multifamily buildings in the downtown core, okay? So we also want to avoid small towns. Now this one is multifamily specific, especially single family too, but especially multifamily. You want to avoid the small towns if you want to be risk adverse. So, you know, the Northern Ontario towns, you know, the Timmins, the Sudburys, you know, the St. Catharines, like all those little tiny towns, you know, if you're a true expert in those towns and you know what's going on, you know, for sure, if you know that. But for the average of us, or, you know, most of us, probably not a good idea when compared to buying in a Kitchener-Waterloo or a Hamilton, you know, where the fundamentals are really strong. Yes, way more price, you know, it costs way more to be here, but your headaches are going to be way less. Why? The tenant profile in a big growing town is way higher than the tiny little towns. Yes, I know the building is cheap. You can get each unit for like $20,000 a unit in a building. I get it, but the tenant profile is bad. There's no job growth. There's probably no jobs in that area. Who do you think you're going to attract for those type of buildings, right? Really low quality tenants, and you're always going to be dealing with headaches. Okay, I know a lot of investors and clients who have buildings in these tiny little towns, and there's nothing but headaches. They're always in the tribunals trying to evict tenants. They're always dealing with shit. These are the things you want to try and avoid when you're investing in any asset, any real estate. But remember, you want to be a sophisticated investor. You want to run a business. This is a business. You don't want to be dealing with shit all day. You want to be doing other things and growing your business and having real estate provide you what it's supposed to provide you, which is income, freedom. You know, if you're dealing with a bunch of tenants who are fighting with each other because of noise complaints and broken toilets and missed rent payments, okay, you are not a sophisticated business owner. You made a mistake, or you're not managing your buildings well enough, okay? So these are some tips on where to buy multifamily buildings specifically and how to build as much as a boring possible business as possible. Okay, so if you learn anything, please click like right below this video. It goes a long way to help my videos get more views, and also don't forget to subscribe so you get more of these awesome tips every single week. See you in the next video.
Put your money in that real estate.
Hey, before you click another video, I want to give you some free stuff. You like free stuff, right? Click on the first link below this video and get my book, Single Family Investing Made Simple, absolutely free. Read as I walk a real-life client through the entire investing process from start to finish and document it for you. Click on the second link and get my other book, The Real Estate Investor's Handbook to Freedom. This book is a must-have for any investor looking to take their business and life to the next level. And last but not least, get my third and best book, 101 Single Family Investing Tips. Inside, you'll find 101 proven and tested investment strategies that I use every single day in my business in order to grow my wealth and manage my portfolio. I hope you take advantage of all the knowledge below, and don't forget to click like and subscribe so we can get more of these awesome tips. See you in the next video.